The soft top I can take down. That's my new motorcycle.
Yeah, that's what my daughter-in-law had, one of those Jeeps, and you take the top off.
I can't wait for summer.
Probably a little cool.
Well, tell me you're using the cane now.
Yeah, I twisted my hip yesterday. I've had a terrible night today, but I think it's getting better. I just said. Getting old.
Chrissy, you did something in your hair.
Oh, you think, yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I'm working towards going all natural, making myself look old.
Yeah, I did that.
So us women, we don't do that very easy.
Oh, no, you don't do that very easy. I have a couple people been on chemo and they get wigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually can't tell.
I know.
I mean, it's
Wigs
just
are
amazing.
amazing nowadays. They really are. Yeah. It's pretty cool looking at some of them.
Too bad she got a redhead on me because, I kept thinking clown, but. How's it going, Stacy? Good? She been in?
She was here, she was helping me today.
Oh, she wasn't? She wasn't?
The only thing she came to do was W-2. Was it?
The W-2s are not there.
Say that again?
No comments, no talking, no nothing?
She said hi.
Wow.
That was it. I was here. I was trying to work on FOIA stuff. I asked her for, where she keeps the minutes for your FOIA request. And she said, you can pay me, come back and I'll tell you.
Wow. Take your time. You want an extension? I'll give you an extension.
Well,
You just send me something you need extension, I'll write back and say, take your time. I'm in no hurry.
yeah. And I may. So I'm just waiting to,
Well, don't.
figure out what things are.
If you want me to come down here, I'll come down and sit and we can go through it together and I'll pick out what I want and
All right.
pay the 10 cents, figure it out. Yeah. But I used to do a clerk job, I can, elections and stuff like that, I can also get you through.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually, not as a clerk, but I've worked elections before, so I have some knowledge. I worked.
Absentee ballots, you gotta get moving on.
I know.
They gotta be sent out, there's about 200 of them.
Yeah, I'm a little stressed about that.
I can help with that. They got, we'll make labels. We know who they are, we'll make labels and just gotta label the envelopes and get them out.
Yeah.
That's a critical one. Then you need to get election inspectors.
Yes. I know there's a ton of election stuff that's gotta be done pretty quick.
Yeah. She's leaving at a bad time. Makes sense why she wasn't here in November or December and, no.
Yeah.
She didn't give me my consent agenda for January.
Of course not. And you have a standing FOIA, right, for all of the notices and everything?
She stopped giving them to me in July.
Yeah, I have to try, I don't know if you're the only one that has standing stuff, I have to try to figure out where all the FOIA stuff is. I was digging the other day and didn't find very much.
Linda said there's other people that have voices in, but I thought that was only one. I can give you.
No, Paul said it was, I want to keep one called Flamingo, but it's not Flamingo.
Roger.
Roger.
The Dodger.
Yeah, he has one in right
now.
Man.
He's got one in? Oh, a video. He wants a video.
Yeah, a video in minutes. It's just one, I think, 1 month.
Wanted the one where she resigned.
Oh, maybe.
But, she did one here. I don't know what.
But I'll get that one done pretty quick, probably. As long as I can find it. And I don't know, you've seen the inside of that office, yeah?
I've been inside that office this month.
Uh-huh.
I don't think she's done meeting minutes since.
That was the next thing. Like, I'm like, oh, here's keeping commission minutes, here's the ZBA minutes, where the township is.
John knew, right?
Yeah, I've been trying for me to
Oh.
make copies.
Cause I come down here and I've been asking for the, you know, you're supposed to have drafts up in 8 business days, and I come down and ask for them, and they're not there, and then I send her an email asking if I can get a copy of them, and
Things are gonna get better. That's what I keep saying. It's gonna get better.
Starting from scratch, it's worse than starting from scratch. You
It
have
is.
to-
It's a huge one. Yeah.
Jump in midstream.
they're gone, I think it's gonna get better.
It could be worse. I'm not sure how, but it could.
Maybe it's a board. Five stations.
Anyone know anyone who wants 6 roosters?
Every time somebody says there's free chickens, he's like, oh, I'll go get them.
If you want to break, the roosters will be,
Right.
not very useful.
No, they won't.
If I remember biology correctly.
Or give John a couple minutes if he shows up. Sorry.
You know, that's,
Sorry.
there's a meeting. You know, there's a meeting.
Yeah, there was a meeting. Did I hear?
I have 6 in my mind somehow. I'm wondering if maybe John did the same thing or something.
That's why I'm giving him a few minutes.
Love student spam callers. My iTunes account's been, or my iCloud account's been compromised.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. He's on his way.
So you can't have two.
Only one. Oh, that's really helpful.
We have some Kleenex anywhere, I'm getting a runny nose.
No problem, that's the thing.
Okay. First one, okay. We're gonna call this meeting to order at 5:15. And let's do a quick pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. John?
Yeah.
Beverly? Here. Rhonda?
Here.
Okay, are there any additions or corrections to this agenda? Should we have our phones put away maybe?
Or just go off.
I just
Mine's going to.
I just shut it off.
Sorry.
Okay. Going forward with our new business. We're here tonight to appoint a new clerk.
I would like to say, from the standpoint of the board, that this is a matter of urgency. That, we got elections coming up, we got taxes coming up, and someone has to go in there that I feel would be able to pick up the ball and run. And I make a motion,
Hold on, John.
I don't make a motion.
Yeah, let me do it. Who's going to take notes? We need to do that. So Beverly volunteered to take the notes for this meeting.
Thank you, Beverly.
Welcome, John.
We need to set or appoint a new clerk because we are cut for time as elections are made March 10th. And the classes for the new clerk to go to are the 30th and 31st that they need to get signed up for immediately. Also, there's also an election class for February the 6th. we'll have to show up, whoever, he, she, whoever gets appointed tonight will have to get that list, get with the county and get it rolling, so. That's why the urgency to go ahead and do it now rather than wait for 30 days. We had 2 applicants. Mr. Spicer, would you like to talk to the board?
You want me just to address the board, or you have questions for me?
No, I addressed myself on that.
Well, I'm Ken Spicer. I used to be the township clerk till 1999, 2000. I run elections. Back then, we did not have a secretary. We had a zoning administrator that sat out front and did stuff. As a clerk, if you do appoint me, I would recommend that you just assign me hours for the secretary, and I would take that function along with the clerk, because I think it belongs with it. The second thing, I would take over the FOIA, and I believe that no cost should be tied to that. It should be out of the clerk's regular salary. I also think that your bookkeeper should belong to the clerk, and I don't think there should be an extra fee for that. So I think you could cut that out of that. So that would reduce your budget by a secretary, FOIA coordinator, and bookkeeper. When I was on the board, I worked with Dean. We were very well in tune, and I would get back to what I did back then, which would be on Friday by 5 o'clock. You would get your consent agenda. It would be in a package. I would either email it to you, or I would hand deliver it, depending on what you prefer. On the night of the meeting minutes will be done before I go home, and you will have a synopsis that will also be put in the supervisor's basket for her to review, modify. And the draft meeting minutes would also be done at that time, which could be posted after the supervisor looked at it. I also think contacting the attorneys kind of belongs to the supervisor. It's kind of her duty. And I would not be contacting the attorney. Any issues, I would be providing the supervisor with a thing, because I think the single point of contact is gonna get a better, working better together, because you just got one point of contact. There's other things wrong in the township. I went out when I was doing the last election, and there's a lot of properties that are vacant that have registered voters. And I would work very hard to get that voter registration cleaned up. People that are voting that live in a vacant lot won't be voting anymore. There is an urgency on the election of getting the absentee ballots out. And got about 200 people that do that. Some of those people are on vacant lots. So I would want to go look at all the properties of absentee voters right away to ensure that we're not letting people vote that don't live here. I know there's some probably ill thoughts on the board and me, and what I can tell you is that if any board member or board members thinks that I'm not doing the job well, or that I'm not acting in the proper manner at any time, that if you come and talk to me, I will render my resignation. And so you'll have a guarantee that I'm going to work with you, work in a team with you. I would work very hard to resolve all the litigation that we have, or any other issues that I've mentioned in the past, to get them all behind us as quickly as we can. Are there any questions?
I think you answered the whole.
The other thing is, if I was a secretary and you needed help collecting taxes, I would be there. And I also would want to appoint a CPA as my deputy. I think I wrote that down for you. And I would also have all the books for the auditor prepared monthly, so that when we go into the audit, we're not going to be told that we're not doing our job. We'll be doing our job. And like I said, I would have, my deputy would be a CPA and would make sure that we're checking the books. That's why you won't be a bookkeeper. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm not going to reiterate everything Ken said. There's a lot of things that Ken said that I agree with. I have not been a clerk of a township before. However, I am a very organized person, and I believe in following the letter of the law. I have worked in other legal capacities with the prosecuting attorney's office, with the clerk's office. I have managed elections through a county clerk's office and doing the final checks, so I'm aware of what's required of elections. I am a very organized person, and it's going to take some time, but I feel it's really important to always have every bit of information available to the public that is required, and that everything be in an organized fashion so it can be found. And I also agree that the financial aspect of the job needs to be a top priority. And there are definitely things that will need to be repaired, and those would be a top priority for me as well, immediately.
Any questions, Beverly?
Sure. Christie, are you still a school board member?
I am.
And will that interfere with, if you were clerk, would that interfere with, how much time does that take? I don't know anything about being a school board.
The school board meets on a monthly basis in the evening on the third Monday of every month, or I'm sorry, the fourth Monday of every month. We do have occasional special meetings and things just like a township board does, but it's not the level of involvement that the clerk would be by any means.
And do you have anyone in mind yet that you would appoint as your, you don't have to name someone, but as your deputy and what their function would be?
I do not. I have thought of several people that I think would be a potential, but I have not spoken with them and am not willing to commit to any one person right now. I would like it to be somebody that can be supportive of me and knowledgeable wherever possible for the job.
Okay, and how do you feel about the executive board? Currently, John and I cannot contact attorney, but other members can because they have duties that. How do you feel about being able to do that directly as opposed to going through someone and waiting for your answer that way?
I really struggle with overuse of attorney. I think the MTA is a really great resource for all board members. And that the board members should be utilizing that, as well as training that is available to board members. I think that the attorney contact should be limited as much as possible, and as such, I think that it should abide by the current resolution. If not, be limited more. Not that I'm saying that I don't think that you should be able to bring subjects to someone and say, I want to have this brought before the attorney. You absolutely should be able to do that. But I don't believe that you should go directly to the attorney.
I don't.
I know.
And I don't want to. Yeah, I'm just wondering how you felt on that overall. And it's making me think of one other question. And I think I've spaced out. I've lost it because I'm showing my age.
Have any questions?
So one more, your election management, was that in Michigan?
But it's been Calhoun County.
Oh, okay.
Donna, do you have any questions for her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. After hearing what each candidate had to say, a motion to accept either one of these?
I make a motion now?
Yes, you can make a motion.
Okay. I make a motion based on the fact that this is something that we need to get a step on fast. And I make a motion that Ken Spicer be appointed to fill the unexpired term of Stacy Cork as our clerk. Is there a second?
No second, John. Let's do a roll call.
Huh?
Let's do a roll call. John?
Yes.
Beverly?
There was no
There
second.
was no second, I just went up. Yes, no.
There's no motion.
You're right. There's,
What are you voting on?
Wanted to clear the air to find out how everybody felt. Okay. Do we have a different motion then?
What's the different motion?
We didn't get your second for Ken Spicer.
So what you're saying is there's no second?
There's no second, so there's no motion.
make a motion to appoint Christie.
There's a second. I'll make that second for Christie. Roll call. John?
What's the motion?
Rhonda made a motion to appoint Christie.
No.
Beverly?
Yes.
Rhonda?
Yes.
Linda? Motion carried to appoint Christie as the new clerk to fulfill the rest of Stacy's appointed position or elected position. Christie, come
Come back there. I'll come up here.
State of Michigan,
State of Michigan,
County of Van Buren.
County of Van Buren,
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
clerk in and for
the
the Township of
Township of Columbia,
County of Van Buren,
County of Van Buren,
State of Michigan,
State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
So for the record, I want to explain why I chose to vote no for Mr. Spicer, and that was because of pending litigation. I don't feel that at this time was the right time to put him on with the pending litigation that we have. Moving forward, we have a resignation from the secretary. So we just need a motion to accept it.
Make a motion that we accept the resignation of the secretary.
Do I have a second?
Second, support.
All in favor, John?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Rhonda? I'm sorry, you have to say. Linda, yes. Okay, so I need a motion to do some advertising for a new secretary.
I make a motion to appoint a new secretary.
Advertising.
Yeah.
I'll second.
discussion? Is there any one place that you guys, any 2 or 3 places that you'd like to have the advert?
I would like to recommend that we post it on Indeed so we can get a better pool of applicants.
What do you think? What's your opinion?
Is it free?
It's not, I'm not sure what the cost is, but from my understanding, it's not free.
If it's it, there's something on, like Michigan College. It's something there. And posted on our website and in the newspaper. Are we, is anything going to change about it, the duties, number of hours, do we have a job description somewhere for them?
We do have a job description.
I don't have any preferences.
I'll take that back, Indeed is free.
We have a motion for approval for some advertising, and in the discussion, we discussed to use Indeed, flyers, website, and the newspaper, is that correct? Is everybody in agreement with that? Let's do a roll call, because we'll be spending money possibly if we use the newspaper. John? Beverly? Wanda?
Yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are you voting?
Oh, Wanda, yes. Sorry. Motion passes. On our last month's meeting, we had some minutes that were pulled from our consent agenda because they were incorrect. And they are still incorrect. You guys all have copies, so you guys can all see. So if you look, October and November are pretty much identical in the business section.
In the business section.
Yeah. All the motions are the same.
Okay, what number are we?
So all of these are just pretty much identical to these.
Okay.
What do you mean? I'm lost, Lydia.
Okay, so November 19th,
Yes,
detail 1 through 9,
yes.
most of those are still on October 15th.
Yes.
So number 1 is still the same. It was never.
Oh,
So I would like to make a motion that we correct these minutes and present them at the next meeting for this correction.
At what number?
We need to make sure that motion states that we're correcting them to match the recording.
To match the recording. So I'd like to make a motion that we correct the minutes from November 19th to match the recording from that meeting.
I'll support that.
All in favor, John?
Yes.
Beverly?
yes.
Wanda?
Yes.
Wanda, yes.
Yes.
Christie, yes. I'm writing it on the paper. The last item, I spoke with the attorney today, in regards to pending litigation. He wants us to set a meeting,
Here?
here. preferably next week, but it's probably not gonna happen until our February 3rd meeting.
When?
Which is our
February 3rd?
February 3rd.
When's our meeting?
February 3rd.
February 3rd is our budget meeting, we'll just
Yeah.
attend the same day.
Same day.
That meeting will be after our budget, we'll go into a closed session because it's for litigation.
And at what time would that be?
I believe our meeting is set at 10 o'clock in the morning for that budget. And following that budget, we'll go into a closed session to meet with the attorney on any litigation. Okay. This time I'm going to take public comments. Anybody have a comment?
Your action has been taken, so it's a little late to make any comments, isn't it?
No comments? Okay. Moving forward. Board comments. Beverly?
No,
I want to make sure that we're up to date on all FOIAs. I know Kenny's got one. He had 150 days to get an answer for it, and we're down to the nitty gritty, so that's gotta be a priority.
Anybody else?
I want to address the changing of the locks in the situation. And in the treasurer's office,
Speak up, Rhonda.
there's plenty of stuff in there that needs to be protected. And I don't feel like any one person should have a key on their person outside this office. And the key should be, I think, in a lockbox, preferably in the clerk's office. And if anybody needs to get in a certain office, that person should be called first.
My opinion on that is that the treasurer's office should have the key for the treasurer, the deputy, and nobody else. There's money in there, you don't go screwing around, and there's no reason to go in there.
And that's my main goal, is to protect what's in there for the residents.
Any comments?
Yeah, so, I don't know what the key situation is now. What is the key situation? I know that you said I would get a key to the outside door, which is the only key I have or ever want.
Yeah, that's what we did.
I don't even need that one, really.
Oh, you're gonna come through the window?
Occasionally, yeah.
You're gonna come through the window, aren't you?
The current key policy states that the clerk holds, is the key holder, so to speak. So the clerk would hold any duplicates or any, the key numbers, there's codes for the different keys. So the current policy states that's what the clerk does.
So I understand what our current policy is, but what have we done? I know a locksmith was here, so, and is he making a master key, or is he just keying individual doors, or?
So, we had all the outside locks, all the locks changed because there was a compromise, because there was.
It's a good idea to change the lock.
Everybody, well, we still don't have all the township property returned back to us.
Actually, at a meeting a long time ago, we had talked about rekeying.
Rekeying, and it was approved to be done then. Now, our policy, what we have set up, matches our policy.
Yeah, we have all those codes now.
So is there or is there not going to be a master key?
There's a
And
master
if so,
key.
who will hold that
That
key?
master key is.
That's the same as giving a key to every
It
door.
will be in the clerk.
Clerk's office,
Lockbox.
And it will be signed in and out?
It has to be.
It has to be,
It's
all keys have
All
to be
keys
signed
have to
out.
be signed out.
Okay,
I just wanna, go ahead.
There's paperwork for you guys to sign your keys out.
sure.
Yep.
Because I agree with John, especially with the treasurers having just taken over and you. Also, I feel like with money, taxes, records, it's too important
Oh,
for
I've
her to be in a
actually,
vulnerable position
Yeah.
for someone else to be able to enter that
No
office
reason to go in.
without her
Right.
knowledge.
no, in fact, I, even went so far as to say it may be in our best interest, and this is something we can discuss later, to actually give those duplicates to an attorney, to our attorney, to hold. And then I wouldn't have to worry about somebody saying I did something.
Right, it keeps everybody safe, that's the idea.
The only office I see that possibly has to be gotten into would be the clerk's office. Something comes up, there's a question on something, then somebody would, permission would go in and see. But if you're not part of the problem, don't get involved in the problem. If you say the clerk's not here, she'll be here, tell me what it is you're looking for, and I'll give her a note. That takes care of that.
Or phone calls, text, whatever.
Rhonda, have you given any thought to who your deputy might be?
It's gonna stay Karen for a while.
Who?
Karen.
Oh, I thought you said Jason.
No.
No, wait.
No.
Well, he's a deputy already. Okay.
So,
Yeah, but Karen, Karen should be gone. She should be out of here. She should be gone. She's done. She's gone.
It's not an actionable item, so.
She's got a lot of valuable knowledge that she can
so,
impart.
as in the past, none of our deputies have any keys to the building. I wanna keep that in hand as is. If they need to come in or cover for you, they need to give me a key to cover.
I think
Same
that's
as,
what
same
they've
as
always
before.
done.
That's what we've always done, and I don't think that should be changed.
No, I think protecting is, I mean, it's not about not trusting someone, it's about protecting the people that are in those
Exactly.
positions.
Okay.
So that's why, you know,
It's security.
And that's why I made the decision when the keys went kind of in right away and we needed FOIA information to go ahead and get these locks changed immediately, because I was not getting a return phone call from the person I had.
and,
So I just wanted to explain why I made that.
I just wanna make sure that there's not a master key that is, so, you know, if it were in your position, that, in your possession, that would also make you vulnerable too.
Exactly.
I just think you need to protect.
And nobody should have the key to our office either. That's her office, that's hers. We don't touch it.
So, with
So I
that,
have to give up my key to the office up here?
What office are you talking about?
The ladies' bathroom, I guess?
You get one key, that one lets you in the door.
And the old keys?
we'll collect the old keys, we'll sign, because you signed for the old keys.
Yeah.
We'll take those back saying that we'll sign saying that you returned it, and then we'll put it in the bone pile. There's a lot of keys that we found laying around that were labeled treasurer, clerk, super, I mean, there were keys everywhere. So, we took all those keys and put them in the bone pile.
That's for sure.
Give them to Goodwill, they'll use them, people use them for crafts.
That's definitely been trying to get that from or something, because they don't work anymore.
Right.
They don't.
So they're safe, they'll be out there.
I just want to go on record as saying I don't approve of Karen coming back into the township office.
Any other comments, Beverly? Rhonda?
No, but I think it should be my decision for my deputy.
It is.
I just wanted to say that I have confidence that Chrissy will do a good job. And,
You better, she's sitting next to me.
I might bite, you
come out
never
with big
know.
money.
Yeah. She already has.
Chrissy, do you have any comments?
Just thank you for appointing me, and I'm looking forward to serving the township.
John?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and I hope that we get everything back under control again and get things right for the township.
Ready to adjourn?
We need a motion.
I so make, we got it.
John made a motion to adjourn, let's do it.
Thank you.
Okay, when you wanna talk to her?
Actually, I was gonna talk to you, but,
So now.
my hometown was,
Yeah,
CPA.
but I said, I think we're gonna proceed.
Linda wants to resign from the police. My first option is you.
Right now.
The clerk's position. My first option.
Yeah.
And we already figured it out. So.
What nights of the week?
That's it.
First what?
First Tuesday of the month.
She probably won't do it Tuesday.
We can always work on it.
She has a, place she goes to on Thursday night. Thursday?
Tuesday night.
Yeah, she goes to plays on Tuesday nights.
Okay. My hotel, what's their
I totally forgot about it.
I told them what you just told me.
It wasn't on the,
Yeah, I was gonna ask
She
you.
wants to have a CPA. Linda wants to resign from the board. But I don't have anybody that.
my granddaughter was cute.
Because I could understand trash.
I understand that, but
I know.
really, some breed was in the board, but that's all I'm playing.
I don't have somebody. I do know that for a fact.
I don't let them.
Won't be the last time you stay.
That I have on there is.
Won't be the last time you stay for long.
I have not.